You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
I don't think it is very useful to speculate on what God might or might not be able to do. Rather, we should examine what he actually does with the universe we live in.
We are all explorers, driven to know what's over the horizon. The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us, woven into the threads that bind us.
Hello, beautiful people. Happy Thursday, happy Jupiter day, and happy new moon in Leo. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the energy of this new moon, what it means for your sign. We'll go through every single rising sign and which part of the chart it's activating for you. And very exciting news, we hit 888 subscribers, and in honor of almost reaching the 1,000 subscriber mark at the end of this episode, I'm going to announce a giveaway for a free astrology reading. So stay until the end so you can find out how to enter. Today we have some very notable Leos celebrating their birthdays. Jackie Kennedy Onassis is a Leo, and I love that we're talking about her today because she's such a representation of the positive qualities of Leo energy. When people talk about Jackie Kennedy, she's just this light in the world, so much positivity and joy and radiance. And I definitely see her as the highest expression of Leo energy. Of course, just from seeing her in the public eye, not that I ever knew Jackie Kennedy, but we have Dana White, who's also a Leo. Soulja Boy is a Leo, if you were wondering. Lori Loughlin, maybe not the highest expression of Leo energy, at least at this point. Let's see, John David Washington, Manu Ginobili, a famous basketball player. Definitely nobody. Oh, Cheryl Lloyd. No one's going to hold a candle to Jackie Kennedy, though, right? Yes, we made it to the new moon. So if the past month really during Cancer season, if the past few days during the waning crescent moon, the balsamic moon have felt sticky, have felt a little icky for you, today's an opportunity for a fresh start. And the new moon in Leo will be exact at 10:54 a.m. Pacific time. So we are almost exactly an hour away from it in the final moments of this current moon phase. With that being said, let's jump into our forecast. And right now, we have both the sun and moon in Leo. Rachel's comment just wants to stay on the screen, which we love. So the sun and moon are both in Leo, which is what represents a new moon, when the moon and sun meet up in the sky. And this new moon will be at 5 degrees of Leo. So if you're familiar with your chart, pull it out. Take a look at where that 5-degree mark falls in your chart, which house it falls in. If you don't have a copy of your chart, you've come to the right place. You can look at the link in the description or just scan the QR code in the corner, and that will take you to the free birth chart calculator on thespiritualjournalist.com, and you can start your own journey with astrology. Hello, Bailey. Thanks for being here. Hopefully everybody's starting to feel the potent energy of the new moon, the joyous, passionate energy that's coming along with this new moon. So let's just dive right into the energy it's bringing. We'll pull up the chart and you can see for yourself the moon and sun both at 5 degrees in Leo right now. Actually, what's so wild, I just realized, this is a complete side note, but this chart is the almost the exact orientation of my birth chart. So this is very representative of what's going on for me right now, if you were wondering. But yes, we have the moon and sun in Leo. And this new moon in Leo is bringing a lot of energy and a lot of positive energy, the way I see it. So the moon in Leo, we talked about this a lot at the beginning of Leo season, but Leo rules the heart. And as we are setting intentions, looking ahead to the next cycle under this new moon, under this dark moon, we can really find the light within. And we can think of our heart as our internal engine. It's our internal spark of light. Literally, it takes electric impulses to keep blood pumping. And we can think of Leo energy in that way, that spark, that passion that keeps us moving, keeps us going. So today, if you are planning on setting intentions or working with this new moon, I really invite you to tap into your heart space. Even just take a moment and feel your own heart beating. Give gratitude for the fact that this beautiful organ keeps your blood pumping through your body, keeps you vibrant, keeps you alive, keeps the color in your skin. You can just think about all the things that your heart does for you every moment of every day. And we can really tap into that internal energy and use it to birth new projects. Leo rules our inner child. It rules that passionate, creative, fun, free expression. It's very dramatic and performative, but it's also, you can kind of think of it like that little kid energy. Kids are drama. They're performative. They're like, look at this, look at me. That's kind of the new moon in Leo. Not to say that we're all going to be like, look at me in vain, but we can really tap into that authentic expression of like, ooh, look at me, look what I've been doing. And that theme's going to pop up again as we start talking more about Jupiter on this Jupiter day. So we're really aligned with our creative life force energy under this new moon, which makes it a very potent new moon to manifest under. Again, what's going on with Jupiter almost only amplifies this, and we'll get into that in just a moment. This is a new moon to really dream big. We are past the halfway point of the year as we are looking ahead to the next cycle. What's really interesting actually about the new moon in Leo is that in 6 months from now, we'll be celebrating the astrological new year. The new moon in Aquarius marks the astrological new year. So this really does feel like a halfway point of the astrological year to sort of up the ante and see, okay, in the Aquarius full moon, we celebrated the abundance we've created so far this year. That's going to be in 2 weeks, but we're really like understanding how much we've grown. And now we can set new intentions based off of what we've already created, what we've already accomplished, and check in with ourselves, which again, we will be discussing in just a moment. So dream big, really align with magnetism. Leo is known for that magnetic energy. We're bold, we're confident. If your intentions, your desires, you're declaring to the universe feel a little too bold, feel a little over the top, a little dramatic, you're doing it right? Like, dream bigger than you think is possible. That's the only way that you can actually achieve those things, if you really put it out there and dream. So this is just the day to boldly declare your desires and think big, dream big as you're setting intentions under this new moon, and most importantly, tap into your own heart, what feels true and authentic to you, what lights you up, what gets your heart beating faster, right? That's a great indicator. Like when you think about a dream, does your heart skip a beat? Does it get excited? Tune into that heart energy and let your heart lead you as you're setting intentions today. Hi, Sonia. Thanks for being here. This new moon is especially potent because of our friend Jupiter, the great benefic. And Jupiter also stations retrograde today. So we're going to get to that in just a moment too. But the only connection this new moon makes is a trine, a harmonious 120-degree angle to Jupiter. We love this for the new moon. What's interesting as Jupiter stations retrograde is it's been hanging out at this 8-degree mark. When a planet stations retrograde from our vantage point here on Earth, it almost appears to stand still for a period of time as it switches directions. I often liken it to a pendulum swinging, right? So it's moving in one direction. As the pendulum gets ready to shift directions, it appears suspended for a moment in time, like it's not moving, right? We can think of that when we think of planets stationing retrograde. So the moon forming a trine to Jupiter, it's like Jupiter is really standing still today in a lot of ways. And Jupiter doesn't like to stand still. Jupiter likes to move and do things. That's not a bad thing. It's just kind of I see it as an especially potent or auspicious moment as the moon's making a connection to Jupiter and Jupiter is getting ready to change directions. But as we know, Jupiter is the planet of abundance. It's the planet of optimism, growth, higher education, spiritual pursuits, philosophy. So you can see that new moon. We'll just jump ahead because why not? That new moon, we'll jump ahead again, forming a nice trine to Jupiter there, marked by that dark blue line. And when the moon makes any connection to Jupiter, it amplifies the energy, but especially a trine, this screams good fortune. So furthermore, when you're boldly declaring your desires to the universe, good fortune is on your side. This gives us the optimism and the confidence to dare greatly. And I think that's Brene Brown's thing, dare greatly. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I would look up a Dare Greatly Brene Brown speech if you need a little pep talk today, because it will definitely give you kind of the fuel to be like, I need to dream bigger. Or anybody who inspires you. Inspiration is big under this new moon. So if you're not already in the flow, and you might be because the energy in itself is inspiring, watch a motivational speech. Go to your favorite inspirational Instagram account and get inspired. Get into that fortunate, abundant mindset, heart space today, because Jupiter is working in our favor in a lot of ways. It's like we're supported by the universe. We're confident in our ability. With the moon in Leo, there's a lot of confidence. We're confident in our ability to expand and to grow with Jupiter and Aries. Making this fortunate connection to the moon. And Jupiter and Aries is very much like, just do it. We got this. Keep pushing forward. Like, it's all good, So Jupiter and Aries is giving us that push. You can do it. Just be willing to declare it. Be willing to be bold. Sharing our passions with others feels especially powerful under this new moon too. Jupiter is all about sharing. It's all about generosity. So, maybe as you're setting intentions, think, okay, how am I going to share this abundance with other people once it manifests? That can also bring in some really positive, fortunate energy. Or maybe it's a matter of just sharing what you're calling in with friends, with family, with the people around you in the comments today. Just putting it out there and sharing can be a great way to supercharge your intentions. This is just positive vibes under this new moon. It feels like a nice change in a positive direction right now for sure. Jupiter brings the abundance, and a new moon, we are here for abundance, especially because new moons are the dark moon. It's often when we're talking about a full moon, we're talking about a culmination point. That's when abundance really comes up. But Jupiter is playing a big role today, and abundance is the name of the game. Yes, it is. And she has a book. Yes, Brene Brown, Daring Greatly. I have one of her books, but I don't have that one, and maybe I need to buy it. Look at this. Yesterday we had to buy a new car because our other car broke down. I love how you were talking about making bold moves because we jumped outside our comfort zone, relying on the universe to help us along. And remember, we have that Mars-Uranus North Node conjunction, which will also play into the energy today. But that's happening in the background. So big changes, big moves, bold moves are happening right now, whether we like them or not. It might be unexpected, but just know that abundance is on your side. Good fortune is on your side. I'll give this quick example, Rachel. I totaled my car, almost 3 years ago now, and it was like a horrifying experience, right? But I had just bought out my lease. I was paying way too much on this car. I loved my car, but it was not a good financial situation. It wasn't terrible. It's just, it wasn't the best deal, right? Then I got in this crash. Could have died, honestly. I was like a quarter of a steering wheel turn away from getting really messed up. I walked away with a scratch on my pinky, and my car was totaled, and I ended up getting a new car for a way better deal because of that. So sometimes these weird situations that force us to do things are actually working in our favor, and we can't always see it in the moment, but I have a feeling this will bring a lot of good fortune to you. third house for you just watching, and your third house has your Chiron in Leo. I'm thinking because this is such a fortunate new moon, there could be a lot of healing coming for you. Really open yourself to new information with this happening in your third house, and that new information could bring some healing realizations. Yeah, Leo, Mercury in the 12th house must be helping Chiron since yesterday, been feeling peace and acceptance of the situation. Person usually triggered by them. Maybe Jupiter's definitely helping you out. And the 12th house is about healing, right? And so this new moon moving into your 12th house, there is a new chapter of healing starting for you, which is really beautiful. Isn't it beautiful, Rachel, when, I've said beautiful a million times, but that's the Leo energy, my friends. Isn't it amazing how once you start just embracing, like, the universe is supporting me, even those wild, dramatic situations, it's like, it's all working out. It's all working out in my favor. Just keep that mindset. Not family new to this. I'm a Scorpio. How that affecting me? We're going to go through the signs. So just stay, familiar. Family, familiar. You're family now. Stay tuned. We're going to go through each of the signs and give a quick horoscope. So that's the only connection the new moon is making, but we do have two major transits playing out in the background. First and foremost, we've got to talk about Jupiter stationing retrograde. Okay, well, apparently this doesn't want to show Jupiter stationing retrograde, but that's okay. We'll just show it on the chart. Ignore the text below. Anyway, Jupiter stationing retrograde at 8 degrees, and it will be retrograde until November 23rd. So we're having this moment where Jupiter's kind of at a standstill, and it's allowing us, this entire retrograde, in fact, but especially the station, as we're setting intentions, we're also looking to the past 6 months, the past year so far, and acknowledging, recognizing how much we've grown, how much we've learned already this year, how much we've expanded already this year. And as we are in that state of abundance, right? Like, look at how much we've done already. Look at how much we've grown. This can also be a moment to recognize how much potential there still is to grow and expand. The year is it's a little over halfway over, but we still have about half the year left. We still have so much opportunity for expansion, which can be a really beautiful realization. So as Jupiter stations retrograde, it's a reflective moment. Maybe a moment to slow down. And as you are looking at how much has grown, maybe there are a few things. Retrogrades are times to review, reflect, and revise. So not just today, but over the next 4 months, there it goes. Not sure what was happening with that. Over the next 4 months, this is a time to maybe make a few course corrections. Like, okay, maybe what's grown a little too much in that direction. I think this is a good example, or this is what popped into my head at least. Abundance, if you have a garden, for example, and you have really fertile ground and a lot has grown, a lot of weeds grow too, along with all the crops and the vegetables that you're growing in your garden. So this could be a time to look at what's grown a little too much that you don't want to grow, right? What's expanded a little too much. You can kind of weed that out and make space for the things you do want to grow to flourish even more. So by appreciating how much we've grown, by appreciating how abundant we already are, we become more magnetic for more of what we want. My mentor, Kat from Crystal Rising, introduces so many people, not just me, to the phrase, more of this, please. So when something is going really well or something feels really abundant, she says, more of this, please, and asks the universe for more of it. I see Jupiter stationing retrograde as an opportunity to be like, more of this, please, of what I want. And hey, maybe a little less of this, please. So just really taking stock of your own abundance, what's grown for you, what's expanded for you. And also, if you've overextended yourself anywhere, maybe this is a time to call your energy back and say like, okay, no more of that, please. But I want to call my energy back so I have energy for more of this, please, if that makes sense. the word more and the word Jupiter are like synonymous. They're one and the same. So Jupiter's retrograde in simplest terms asks us to review what do we want more of and what do we have too much of already. How can you set yourself up to keep growing and learning? And because this is, a longer retrograde, yes, there are potentials for major realizations today. That's the next transit we'll talk about. But over the next 4 months, you could be having these realizations. What's expanded already? What needs to expand more? Where do we need to kind of pull back a little bit? We've been having issues with the car since January, and my fiance gets a raise next month. Perfect timing. Yes, beautiful, perfect timing. It always is. Just trusting the universe is bringing you the exact opportunity you need. I felt a big shift yesterday, Katie says. It was like an abundance of my own power and love. Venus conjunct Lilith, baby. We're still feeling that too. There's a lot of growth to reflect on for me for sure, and room for expansion too. You are so aligned with the transits, Katie. You are so aligned. How beautiful. So Jupiter stationing retrograde doesn't really feel like such a, Mercury retrograde. We're like, okay, watch out. Jupiter retrograde to me doesn't necessarily feel like that. It's just an opportunity to really take stock of our own abundance and our own expansion. And the final transit that we have playing out today before we dive into what this new moon means for each sign, Mercury is squaring Uranus and the North Node. So we'll see if the text decides to pop back up. Who knows? We're just rolling with it. But you'll see on our chart, Mercury in Leo at 18 degrees is squaring that conjunction between the North Node and Uranus with Mars very close by. Remember, that triple conjunction is exact on Monday. So we're really feeling this triple conjunction. We had Mercury square Mars earlier in the week. That brought some of that aggression out. I know a lot of us were dealing with that. Quick words, fiery communication, maybe too fiery of communication. Luckily, Mercury is pulling away from that square and now squaring off to Uranus and the North Node. This square between Mercury, anytime there's a square, it could be a surprise, it could be intense, it could be a little aggressive, but I see this today as more like surprising information, flashes of insight, maybe quick changes of plan or unexpected opportunities popping up. Even though it's a square and there is an element of tension there, I do see it as under such abundant energy, kind of these insights or realizations could coming through. And it might feel shocking. It might feel shocking when these things come in because it is a square and Uranus is involved, the planet of disruption. So maybe some information comes to light or a situation comes to fruition that surprises you a little bit. Really try to stay flexible, even with this square and fixed signs, which makes us really just want to like dig our heels in and stay the course, stay flexible, stay open. The more you try to stick to your guns, the more difficulty you'll have opening to these realizations. So if surprises happen, Rachel's a great example with this new car situation. Like, probably weren't expecting to just buy a new car out of the blue, but good fortune is likely going to come from it for you. So if your schedule's thrown off today, if a wrench gets thrown in your plans, remember the universe is the best secretary. One of my friends always says God is the best secretary, and I always think of her when plans change. Like, I'm trusting that this is what's supposed to happen right now. So just stay flexible in the face of change and be open to new information. If a random idea or thought comes through, don't discount it. Like, it could be telling you something. It could be leading you to good fortune. It could be helping you realize as well with this triple conjunction coming up. It could be helping you realize what big moves you're making under the conjunction, what shifts are happening for you in your life right now. So it's like this moment where we're like, okay, we're seeing shifts, we're seeing changes. What can we do with it? What information is coming in and how can we use it? So there's a lot of excitement happening in the stars today. Some of it might feel a little abrupt, but just like I said, stay open. Okay, now let's talk about what the new moon means for you. And I'm going to see if I can get these labels at the bottom to pop back up. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? sometimes technology is just a little funky, but we'll see. Okay, it's just going to do its own thing, and you're just going to have to listen carefully. So we will start with Leo and end with Virgo, and these are just going to be quick horoscopes for each sign based on your rising sign. So if you don't know your rising sign, again, go to thespiritualjournalist.com/birth chart. You can scan the QR code. There's a link in the description, and find out what your rising sign is. If you're new to astrology, look for the letters ASC. That represents ascendant. That's another word for your rising sign. And many of the horoscopes, if not all of the horoscopes you read, are actually based on your rising sign. So it's something good to know. And maybe that's the new information that comes in, as we were just talking about. That's like, I've always thought of myself as just this, or my horoscope has never resonated with me. And then you discover your rising sign today, and voila. New information coming in, a new view of life for you. Okay, starting with our Leos. It's your season, baby. Happy birthday to you, whether you've had it already, whether it's coming up. This is a time you're feeling yourself as the new moon moves into your first house. So the first house is all about self. It's all about our identity. This is your time to shine, and you are no stranger to shining, Leo risings. You're great at it. You're great at making an appearance, making your presence known, and shining brightly. Give yourself full permission to take center stage under this new moon. Really reflect as you're setting intentions on who you want to become in this next chapter. Who do you want to be? Remember, we can change our identity. We can evolve at any time, any moment. And if you're feeling especially abundant, it is Leo season under this new moon. Don't be afraid to share your light with others. You are a powerhouse under this new moon. And so really sharing your light and expressing yourself can inspire others to do the same. Cancer risings. This new moon lands in your second house. So this is a time to make money moves, set intentions around income, resources. And as you're doing so, really reflect on your values. Tune into your heart space, as we talked about, and reflect on what's important to you as you're trying to attract new resources. You're a magnet for income. You're a magnet for money and a magnet for resources under this new moon. So call them in, tap into your heart though. And as you know, it's one thing to be like, I want money. Sure, we all do, but why? Tap into your values, tap into your why. What would you use these resources for? And hold the vision of not just you, surrounded by cash or whatever, but hold the vision of your why you want to call in more resources. What would your life look like? Paint that clear image in your head, and that can help you attract more abundance under this very abundant new moon. Gemini risings. This new moon lands in your third house. So bold ideas, big conversations are possible and are happening for you today and throughout Leo season. These themes will play out for all of us throughout Leo season. This is a time to learn something new, especially with that square between Mercury and Uranus in the North Node today. Really, if you're a Gemini rising, stay open to new information. New insights can come through very easily. If someone recommends a book or a podcast or whatever, and you're like, that sounds interesting, follow that if you're a Gemini rising. This is a time to open yourself to new information, new communication, and new awareness. Taurus risings. This new moon's in your fourth house, the house of home and family, your roots, your foundation. So as expressive as we're feeling during Leo season, this is actually a time for you, if you're a Taurus rising, to retreat to your safe space. Really tune into your heart. Maybe your safe space within your body, or, they say home is where the heart is. So really surrounding yourself with the people you love can align you with that loving energy. Your home, your family are lighting up under this new moon in Leo. And you can set intentions around what you want your home to look like in the next 6 months, whether that's the people inside your home, whether that's your actual, physical surroundings. If you're a Taurus rising, you probably like things to feel very comforting and luxurious. So maybe you are setting intentions around a home improvement project. Maybe you're wanting to buy a new home, but whatever it is, tune into your heart space and give yourself time in your safe space today as you set intentions. Being in your home or in your comfort zone will feel actually very abundant for you under this new moon in Leo. Aries risings. Your creative energy is peaking right now. Lean into what you love. Lean into your passion. You're no stranger to passion if you're an Aries rising. This is a time to put yourself out there, express yourself authentically, do a little art, be creative, take center stage as well. The Aries and the Leos, well, the Leo risings and Aries risings are really just feeling themselves under this new moon. And, you know, if you're an Aries rising, you might be really quick to just like put yourself out there. But I will say this new moon gives you an opportunity to come back to your heart and ask, am I being as authentic as I could be? Am I shining my light as brightly as I can? How are my actions affecting others? You know, so creativity can be a really great way to tap into your own authenticity and what makes you unique, what makes you different, and what special gifts you're here to share with others. But creative projects or just passion projects right now for Aries, definitely favored. Pisces risings. The new moon's in your 6th house of health, wellness, and routines. What small daily practices light you up? This Leo new moon is all about what lights us up, what makes us feel passionate and inspired, right? If you're a Pisces rising, this is a time to look at the small things, the daily things, the routines, the habits, finding those rituals and routines that really make you feel alive, whether it's, you know, it's going to be different for everybody, but maybe you set intentions around a morning ritual that you want to start under this new moon. Maybe you want to start taking cold showers or doing cold plunges daily, weekly, whatever it looks like for you. Maybe it's about cooking. Maybe it's about your health and working out. Of course, the 6th house rules are wellness, so setting intentions around wellness is definitely favored if you're a Pisces rising, but whatever it is for you, make sure you are infusing and setting intentions around the small things you can do on a daily basis that make you feel alive, that light you up, that make you feel passionate. If you feel like you've lost a little bit of that luster, this new moon is your opportunity to set those intentions and start a new routine. Aquarius risings. Your relationships are heating up under this new moon. It's in your 7th house of partnerships. So this is a time to find those one-on-one connections that allow you to be the true you. Surround yourself with people, or just one person even, who sees you and sees the light in you and helps you see the light in yourself, and vice versa. If you find yourself in one-on-one situations and you're feeling abundant, if you're with a partner, a good friend, even a parent or a business partner, this is a time to show them how much you see their light and how abundant they are. Your one-on-one relationships are going to feel especially nurturing, and taking those moments today to see the light in others and see them reflect back your own light, that is going to help you set intentions about your relationship and start the next chapter of that relationship in such a vibrant, loving, beautiful place. Of course, tap back into your heart. That goes without saying for all of us, but especially when we're talking about relationships. But really make a conscientious effort to have those one-on-one connections and show others how bright that they shine and how grateful you are for what they bring out of you as well. Capricorn risings. This new moon is a time for you to shine light on what's been hiding in the shadows. Yes, we're talking about the dark moon, so you know, it's like a lot of internal things are illuminated under the dark moon. We don't have a lot of external light we're talking about when we're referring to the moon. So maybe it's a time to go within and look at your own internal light and be like, let's like look at some of the cobwebs so we can shine a little bit brighter moving forward. What have you been ignoring? What have you been neglecting? With the new moon in your 8th house, it's a time to go deep with yourself. And all of Leo season, the sun is moving through your 8th house as well. So it's really shining a light and digging up a lot of those things you've been ignoring or neglecting for the year. Maybe some limiting beliefs, some deep-seated beliefs that you've been refusing to address. This new moon, set intentions from that place of depth. What's truly important to you? What energetically do you want to call in? For you with the 8th house, it's not just about like, I want to set intentions about the new job or the money. It's like, on a deep energetic level, what are my intentions for the next chapter? Maybe it has to do with a deep bond you have with someone else, but I really see this more under this new moon for you, Capricorn, as the deep work you're doing for yourself, setting intentions around that. And as you're doing it, again, tap into your heart space and know that even if you're in a dark place, just exploring your own depths, which can be a little dark, darkness is where creation is born, and you can shine light on those cobwebs. You can shine light on those shadows and bring them into the light and allow yourself to lighten up. I know that sounds so simple, but like this is a time to like really bring light to the darkness in your life, and it'll feel easy to do so under this new moon. Sagittarius risings, the 9th house. You are right at home in the 9th house. The new moon is in your 9th house. Share, be generous, be bold. You have a vibrant personality if you're a Sag rising. There's no way around that. You know, you are an abundant person. You're ruled by Jupiter. So today, Jupiter stationing retrograde too. If you're a Sag rising, it's like, whoa, there's like kind of this moment, this still moment where it feels like time is stopping a little bit for you. Take stock of like, how am I sharing my resources? How am I sharing my abundance? And at the same time, take stock of how abundant you already are. Maybe you're feeling like booking a trip or going on an adventure, doing something spontaneous today. You might be your own change of plans today, as we talked about Mercury squaring Uranus in the North Node and things changing. You might feel especially spontaneous and just decide to change your mind or expand your mind. But however expansive this is for you, in whichever way it's expanding you, this new moon is asking you also to lift up others along the way. Share what you've learned about getting to the point you're at. Share your light with other people. The 9th house also rules publishing and philosophy. So share what you've learned. Share the realizations you've had this year. You'll feel like being outgoing and being around other people, which is definitely in your nature as a Sag rising. And this is really a time to share your abundance and call in more of it, because the 9th house, it's like the 9th house is more of this, please, for sure. Scorpio risings, bold career moves are possible for you under this new moon in your 10th house. So take courageous action towards your long-term goals, whether that's in your job or in long-term wealth, but making a bold move towards something that's important to you long-term can be very fortunate today, especially with all the Jupiter activation we talked about. You might even have an unexpected opportunity, as we talked about Mercury squaring Uranus in the North Node. An unexpected career opportunity could come up for you under this new moon, or it could just be a chance to set intentions. Maybe as Jupiter is stationing retrograde, reflect back onto the intentions for expansion you set towards the beginning of the year around the full moon in Leo, and maybe set some new intentions, up the ante, re-up, or reconfigure what you're calling in for the rest of the year. But don't be surprised if you advance in your career or in your long-term goals under this new moon. Libra risings. The new moon lands in your 11th house of community, networking, humanitarian causes. If you can feel totally yourself in the middle of a crowd, Libra risings, that is your crowd. Those are your people. So surround yourself with people who let you shine your light unadulterated. They let you shine as brightly as you possibly can. This is also a time, Libra, you're no stranger to partnerships, to work with the people in your community to make the world a better place, to network and bring in resources in the form of other people to help you shine your light brighter, to help you get the word out about the causes you care about. So the 11th house is about showing up in our individual uniqueness, but also being part of something greater and bigger than ourselves. So find your people under this new moon. Maybe take stock of the current community you're surrounding yourself, and that could be a place to set intentions. If you don't feel like you have that community of people that lets you shine really brightly and enhances your light, set intentions around finding new community. Maybe you're making a bold move and going to an event this weekend that might be out of your comfort zone, but just set intentions around finding your people and appreciate the people you already have who make you feel amazing and remind you of how abundant and fortunate and bright you are. And last but certainly not least, Virgo risings, my fellow Virgo risings, this new moon lands in our 12th house, the house of healing, endings, closure, release, the veil, what's beyond the veil, other realms. Chapters are probably closing now, Virgo risings, and your heart can really gain a lot of healing from this new moon in Leo. I love that Ken, one of our Virgo risings in the chat, talked about this renewed feeling of healing that he's already starting to experience. So you're right on track, Ken. And all of us Virgo risings can really tune into the love we have for ourselves and for the people around us and find healing in our heart, find healing in that space. Anytime we're talking about the 12th house, the word trust comes into play. So yes, this new moon, set intentions around healing, set intentions around what you want to release, what you want to let go of, so you can make space for more abundance in the next chapter as we head into Virgo season, as the sun crosses into our first house and we get this sense of renewal next month. Now is the time to really reflect on, what do I need to let go of? And you can set intentions. Intentions don't always have to be like, what am I calling in more of? We can set intentions around, what do we need to release? What do we need to let go? Or what chapter do we need to close so we can open a new one? And remember, trust the process. If you're a Virgo rising, remember, it's going to feel slow. It might not all make sense. It might be a little foggy right now under this new moon, but clarity is coming and a new chapter is waiting for you. So really find some heart healing, find some compassion and empathy for yourself and others during this new moon, and that can be enough. Setting an intention around having compassion and healing your heart can be a beautiful intention, and that can be enough if you're a Virgo rising. We still don't have this label popping up, but that's okay. All good. Let's see. All right. I'm not seeing comments either. I don't know if you guys just aren't chatting, but I don't know what's going on with this software. We're just going to take it as a sign to move on to today's affirmation, which is, I am here to love. Simple as that. I am here to love. To love myself, to love other people, to align with the energy of love. That can be a great mantra to come back to. I'm here on this planet right now as a spirit having a human experience. I came here to love. What does that mean to you? Especially reflecting on everything we talked about with each sign. What does that mean for you to be here to love? And setting intentions from that place is only going to amplify those intentions. Love is the answer. Always, love is what's real. So tuning into that love can help you create more of it. And remember, that's what we're here to do. We're not here to stress. We're not here to worry. We're not here to constantly overthink, why is this happening? We're just here to love. Love ourselves during the uncomfortable processes and love our abundance and what's going right when things are going well. And with that said, let's go ahead and do today's tarot pull. I'm going to pull from the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck. It very much feels like the dark moon, new moon vibe. I love that she's wearing a crown too, very Leo. And we'll see what final insights want to come through. So as I'm shuffling, hopefully I can see your comments. Feel free to throw them in the chat, and we'll see if this service wants to show them to me. But if not, just not meant to see them right now, and that's okay. I will also say Mercury squaring Uranus in the North Node could bring some tech issues. Mercury and Uranus rule technology, so just putting that 2 and 2 together as I'm having some weird tech issues today. So if you have glitches or weird things like that, unexpected little tech surprises, you can thank Mercury and Uranus and that tense 90-degree square for that today. But I'm trying to lean into that trust that I just talked so much about, and maybe I just don't need to see those comments right now, trusting that the universe has a bigger plan for whatever tech glitches it is throwing my way today. All right, let's take a deep breath. What do we need to know? Change. Change is the card we pulled. The Thunder Moon, card number 35. Ooh, I love this so much. because yes, there's big changes happening. Uranus, Mars, and the North Node meeting up. Big changes. Whether we like it or not, they are happening, and they're happening for our highest good, even if they don't feel like it right now. But here is what this guidebook says about change. Accept change. Life, like the seasons, is about change. Take advantage of change energy. Plan ahead. The mantra is, I welcome change and I ride its energy. One of the great truths in life is that change is constant. It is unavoidable, and we can resist it all we want, but nothing truly stays the same. It is better then to prepare and even direct change by setting intentions and building our personal power from the inside out. Yes, so freaking perfect. Seasonally, there are times of the year that have at their essence a profound sense of change, usually the shoulder seasons of autumn and spring. It is at these times of year we can feel more easily the shift between one season and another. In autumn, the nights grow longer and there's a chill when darkness falls that wasn't there weeks before. The breeze that blows is no longer balmy. The birds we've been watching all summer seem to have packed up and left, and in their place, new species appear to strut their stuff. We begin to dress with more layers, and we may even hunger for different foods. All of these are signals of change. In the spring, it's all about waking up and warming up, and the opposite happens. These too are signals of change. The moon shines down upon the winds of change, the clearing storms, the electric crackle of lightning, and the boom of thunder echoing across the valley. There is a great energy to be channeled in such a time and to be focused towards riding change with joy and ease. Riding change with joy and ease. If that is not the most perfect way to sum up this energy, being optimistic about change, trusting the universe, trusting in the abundance we've already created, and whatever shifts and changes are happening now are here to help us create more of it. So I love that we pulled the change card. Big changes are happening, and it even said, set intentions around what change you want to create in your life. That is the name of the game today, setting intentions from a heart-centered space about what kinds of changes we want to create, whether that's just calling in more of what we already have or releasing what's no longer working. All right, the last thing I want to touch on is this giveaway. So 888 subscribers, first of all, thank you so much to all of you. This has been such a beautiful journey so far, and I can't wait to see where it continues to take us. And as I've been teasing, once we hit 888 for the last 112 technically, but 111-ish subscribers, we're going to do a big push to get to 1,000, hopefully by the end of Leo season, maybe even, I'm just going to declare this to the universe, by the Lionsgate portal, we'll reach 1,000 subscribers. So if you're a current subscriber, you can be entered to win. And if you're not already a subscriber, go ahead and click that button. It's free to you, and you can be entered to win a free astrology reading. All you have to do is share about the live stream, share about transits today, our morning astrology live streams on Instagram, and tag me. You can tag me at The Spiritual Journalist or just at Olivia DeGennaro. I'll try to write it in the chat, but who knows what's going on with that today. And we'll talk more about this tomorrow too, when hopefully the system is working a little bit better, when Mercury and Uranus aren't deciding to fight with each other. But yeah, it's simple as that. I'll keep track of everyone who enters, and once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll do an announcement here on the live stream of who wins the free reading. So if you're one of my OGs from day one, you can still enter to win. I know some of you already share about the live stream on social media already, which I'm so grateful for. You just doing that from the kindness of your heart. You are my favorite kind of people. And if not, this is your opportunity to win a free astrology reading. Tell your friends. They can subscribe and post too and be entered to win a reading. And stay tuned on my Instagram. I'll do a post about this in the next day or two, maybe when technology isn't fighting me too much, and announce all the details of how to enter on Instagram. So my Instagram is just at Olivia DeGennaro right there in the corner, or you can follow me at The Spiritual Journalist, but make sure you're subscribed to enter to win a free reading. And again, I'm just so grateful for all of you and so excited for the next chapter of transits today, of this community we're creating together every morning. You guys are all amazing, and I'm just so grateful to have you here. So if I didn't get to your comment, I'm sorry because I can't see them, but I will be back tomorrow with another episode of Transits Today, walking you through the energy of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, walking you through the end of July as we head towards this triple conjunction on Monday, what energies are playing out, getting us there. So we'll talk through that. I hope you have a beautiful new moon. I hope you have a blessed time tapping into your heart and setting intentions under this very potent new moon. And the moon is new in 20 minutes, so we're almost there, friends. I love you all. I will see you right back here tomorrow morning for another episode of Transits Today. But until I see you next, stay curious. Thank you so much for joining us and aligning with the energy of the universe today. If you enjoyed this morning's episode of Transits Today, you can join our live astrology discussion every weekday morning right here wherever you're watching. And head to thespiritualjournalist.com to read your daily astrology forecast and browse the Spiritual Shop. The most fun way to help keep these forecasts free and support more content like this is to buy yourself a little something on our website. But if you're feeling extra generous, you can also buy me a coffee to fuel future live streams. Just tap the link in the description or head to buymeacoffee.com and search The Spiritual Journalist. And speaking of, you can also tune in to The Spiritual Journalist, our weekly live interview where we ask our guests questions about everything from crystals and manifestation to mental health and the environment. Those conversations stream live right here wherever you're watching now every Tuesday. I'm so grateful you found us here, and I can't wait for our next conversation.